Hare Krishna. Prayuktam bhojarajena Mayana kamarupinaha Leelaya vanudasamsa Bala kridanakaniva. The great wizards were able to assume any form, were engaged by King of Bhoja Kamsa to kill Krishna, but in course of his passion the Lord killed them as easily as a child breaks dolls. So let us understand this, what the wizards were doing. Generally we can see, we can analyze in different ways. First thing is that we see matter independent of life. That we see all the, just like this mic, independent of, this is non-living system in this world. And in this non-living system, certain adbhuta things can also be done because mind is extremely powerful. What we know as non-living system in the material science is only Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu. Correct? You understand this? Just like this mic is there. Actually, what is there, I do not know. I know object because of its properties. What is the object without the properties? I do not know. You know this? This is Sankhya. They say in English Qualia and Sankhya. I am interacting. Sense object, form, taste, touch is also an object. That is what I am interacting with. What is the object? I do not know. Just like chocolate. Inside the wrapper of the chocolate there is chocolate. So water is carrying all these qualities. Correct? Yeah. So some objects, make it simple. Some objects are exhibiting 5 kind of qualities. 5 kind of I can know them. I know object because of the properties. Some people say, what is beyond the qualities, what's the reality? Is some people say, those who are skeptic, they say, what is in reality is what I experience, nothing more. Materialist are slightly better. They say that yes, beyond my experience, I agree, there is some reality. But the reality also follows some fundamental laws, material laws. Then Buddhists say yes, beyond the experience. You are able to understand me? Or it is too cryptic? See, you are experiencing, I am taking a class, but actually you do not know what is the truth. So the truth, some people say, what all I experience, that's it. Some people say, no, something may be there, but that also follows material laws. And the third one, the Buddhists say, no, it's Shunya. And then comes Shankara, they say, no, it is Nirguna Brahma, Brahman without any variety. And Vaishnava say, Saguna Brahma. He is a personality with all wonderful qualities. Now, so at the lowest level, people, they just know about matter, disconnected from life. And in that matter analysis, there is Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kham. 5 things are there. Kham is not known to material science. Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu is known. Bhumi means which can be known by 5 qualities. All the 5 senses can gather. It shows 5 qualities: smell, taste, whatever. And then you get, what are the 5 qualities? You can hear, you can see, it shows form, it shows some sound, it shows some smell, and it shows some taste and some touch. It shows 5 qualities by which I am able to interact with it. I only have 5 senses to interact in this world. Some objects are showing all the 5 qualities. That is called earth. Take a so scientific definition. It's so nice. Actually, science will change and come here one day. It will come. Otherwise, science will lie stagnant, like it is sitting for last 100 years. There is no major change in science. After the quantum, nothing new has come. And that itself they are not able to understand. They will understand by correcting itself. The next is to understand water. What goes away in the water? Gandha goes away. We cannot smell the water, but we can do other 4 things with the water. And the next is earth, water, fire. Fire, we cannot taste it. Okay? That quality it is not giving you. It is giving you form. You can no, it gives you sound. Okay? And then what you can do? You can touch. You can touch. You can see, and you can hear the sound. Pat 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 sound is coming out of the fire. Three things, three ways you can know. So earth, water, fire, air. Air, is you can't see now, but what you can do in the air, you can hear and you can feel. Okay? Ether, we don't know what it is. Ether only creates signal. Just like even though we are in space station, we can send signal. There is no atmosphere there. So ether is something not known to the modern science. Vedas talk about ether. To some extent, now they agree. They say no place in the universe is empty. Quantum mechanics says this. That's ether. What it is, my guess maybe they say sometimes dark matter. They say 95% of the matter of the universe is not known. Maybe that's what it is. We do not know. No speculations, but we do not know what Vedas are talking about, but science doesn't know about it. And the rest it says Kham Mano Buddhi. There is intelligence, mind, and ahankara, not known at all to the modern science. There is no idea of mind, no idea of intelligence, no idea of false ego. This is this limited vision, even of just the matter, is actually this limited knowledge coming because at the fundamental base of the science is sitting one assumption which is called reductionism. If you type on the net 3 fundamental assumptions of science, one of them is reductionism. They write in another words. Basically, the truth is very simple, which can be reduced to some basic mathematical formula. Now, this is an assumption. Truth need not obey you. Truth is truth. You cannot force truth to fit in your thing, correct? It is the way it is. We have to just observe the truth, not that you say the truth has to be in that way. Then you are already having a bias in your mind. Truth is what it is. Because the mind will not come inside an equation, intelligence itself, it has gone outside the control of the science. Even the sense objects, all has gone outside. What is remaining is the lowest part, the matter. Now next thing comes in the study, which you saw, medicine, a life, but that is connected to matter, based on matter. Because biology today, what we study is nothing but physics chemistry. It's based on physics chemistry. Now other side is coming as spiritualist. We just like talking in the Bhagavatam here, we are talking about life independent of matter. Krishna, oh wonderful pastime in the spiritual world. Matter doesn't touch him. The whole pastimes is full of yogamaya and there is so much pleasure. Krishna is killing these big demons, and all these demons are having some siddhis. We do not know today. The siddhis are all in matter, independent of life. Just matter is playing around and they are doing so many, we do not know. Just like a child has a capacity to walk, but that capacity can be revived. Correct? You can revive that capacity of the child to walking by practicing it, because it's lying dormant. We can awaken it. Similarly, mind also has certain siddhis which can be awakened. Just like Sanjaya, one siddhi was awakened by Vedavyasa. What is the siddhi? You can know what's happening in the battlefield. Just like you're sitting here, you can think of Manipal, you can think of Tiger Circle, you can think of Manipal or DDO. Actually, you can see now if you want. It is just mind can travel. It's not limited to the body. Body can't travel. It's gross, limited. Mind can travel. And after traveling there, it can start doing things. And not only that, if you are more powerful, even you can travel in a moment. Just like Prabhupada says, some sages in the morning, in the Vedic time, used to take bath together in all the holy places. They'll get down one place, get up from another place. Because they'll not make obvious to people. If they do puk, people will get bewildered. Or they can make 9 forms. Correct? Some siddhis they can make 9 forms. All the siddhis, look at that. Agasura, Bakasura, huge python. These are all siddhis. Nothing spiritual about them. Nothing spiritual about them. Just imagine how powerful they are. Now, apart from that is Krishna's pastimes, which are total spirit. Spirit independent of matter. Krishna is playing with his mother Yashoda, is going to the having fun of his pastimes, loving pastime, because spiritual word is only love. We discussed this point, that how we are not eligible to enter Krishna's pastime, because we will do the same thing the demons did. What the demons do? They just attacked. We will also attack. Sometimes we can see, if we are very introspective, we are doing something very good. Everything is fine. We have good wish. But somebody who is disturbed comes and just jumps and spoils our work. Correct? True? Same thing Krishna we do to his pastime. And if you are introspective, we also do to others' work also like that. He was well-meaning. He was doing good work. Because we were disturbed, we disturb his work. Correct? That goes on. But Krishna's pastimes are so sacred. They are so divine. They are so pure. Krishna will not allow anybody to disturb those pastimes. Will not allow. Will anybody allow? At your home, you are having very nice. You are all discussing Bhagavad Gita. You are having a nice time. Will you allow a neighbor to just walk in and start shouting? What you will say? Just like now we are in program. Some would disturb and say, please tell him not to make sound or classes. We don't allow disturbance because that's life. So similarly, Krishna also does not like. And not that he doesn't want us. He wants us to join this pastime, but we are not qualified. We only disturb. So what we should do? One step out. One step out. We have come to the material world. We could not be in Goloka. We could not be in Vaikuntha. We could not be even Mahesh Dhama. We are not even in heaven. We are in earth. Correct? So many places down. We are not ready. Even heaven we are ready. Heaven also they are in Satoguna. They are full of knowledge. Very pure. All devotees of God, more or less all. Top devatas are pure devotees. Narada is regularly visiting. There is Brahaspati is there. All great sages are coming and out. We are not fit for that also. So therefore, we are in the earth now. And this is a position that if we discuss this many times, that even devatas disturb Krishna Lila. Forget about Danavas. Brahma disturb, Indra disturb, everybody disturb. Who are we? So therefore we are not ready. Even Brahma, who is the best among all of us in the material world, could not handle Krishna's pure Leela. Because of whatever contamination we have. Prabhupada said, therefore, if there is some contamination in our system, we will even disturb Lord Chaitanya's pastime. We have to be pure. There's a great mission of the Lord going on. We should be very, very careful to be effective and not to disturb. Correct? We have to be very, very careful. So now it is coming. So therefore, what is we also see something very interesting is that when Prabhupada was in MIT, just think about this question. I told this previously, but I didn't think about it deeply. He said when they showed him different departments, they asked this question to Prabhupada: how is our university? They're very proud. It's the number one university in the world in its own way. Number one is I think Harvard, but still MIT has its own way name. So they asked Prabhupada, what do you say? Prabhupada said, you have all the departments you showed me, chemical department, mechanical department, this department, that department, that department. Do we have a department here which studies difference between living body and dead body? Now think about it a bit deeply. Many people who are involved in life and death, the doctors, they are actually surprised. The moment the person is dead, why they are not able to revive him is a bewilderment for them. Because the heart is there, the brain is there, the liver is there, the kidney is there. Many a time these organs are even used in another person. If you say that organs are useless, you cannot say. So sometimes some people die and 6-7 people because of them live now. Correct? They say that. The charitable. I don't know how much as the Karmakandi, as we Vaishnavas, we hardly bother. We are not so much after the body. But Karmakandi Brahmanas, they will say that this body has to be burnt, and how much they will agree, I do not know. Can you take out organs? They will. And it's not good to see also that. Like nothing is there, all everything is just a packet now remaining. Heart is taken out, kidney, liver. I do not know what Karmakandi Brahmanas say. We Vaishnavas, we don't care. We hardly are, correct? We hardly anything can be used for anything. We want to serve the Lord. This body we are not so interested on karma kanda or punya papa. So now the question is this: all the organs are workable. because that isn't proven, because it can put in another body. You can take out the heart, you can take out the liver, they can take it. But why this person is not reviving now? If this study is done deeply, we will understand something which is frightening. That matter behaves differently when consciousness is present. This is a new science which has to come. What is it? Matter. It's a new revolution which is going to come. Matter behaves differently when consciousness is present. This has already been seen in quantum in a small level. If you know, there is an experiment called double slit experiment. And when the particles were thrown from the slit, they saw that they are causing interference pattern, which was a shock. It should not happen. Finally, it's particles. It starts like a particle. On the sensor, it ends like a particle. But if you look, the pattern it gives is an interference pattern, which is of a wave. Started as a particle, ended as a particle. In between, what drama it is doing? So they were totally confused. So what they thought, let us do one thing. Before it hits a wall, suppose we have a sensor. So we know it went through the top one. And before it hits a wall, we will close the below one. It behaves as if you closed it, and it changes the behavior. It changes the behavior. And according to science, it has gone back in time. If it was wave, it has become a particle and come. And some scientists say it was never a wave, it was a particle all the time. But it changed the behavior, seeing, you changed that. It never interacted with that slit at all. But based on what you did at it, you got it? It has passed this moment it is about to hit. Just before it about hit this close one of the slit, it changes the behavior. Then they did one thing. Okay, we will not watch here. We will watch here before you hit the wall. So as it goes, just before it is about to hit the wall, they switch on the camera. It changes the behavior. They switch off the camera. Camera is there, but they keep it off. How it knows camera is not operating? It has one behavior. Moment you switch on the camera, it changes the behavior. So what they are not able to understand, and that's the only answer, which is they are not able to understand this answer because they do not even recognize properly what is consciousness. But one thing is true now. I heard 1970s when ISKCON wanted to do conference on consciousness studies. The joke is that most of the scientific magazines did not print the ad. They thought it's so unscientific, study of consciousness. The consciousness is such a hallucination. There is no consciousness. Everything can reduce to an equation, just a chemical reaction going on. But when today, you just type consciousness, 34th conference on consciousness, it's not one. They have been doing yearly and they have been doing monthly. Now they are a new field. They are trying to understand, but they are not. See, you save so much time. Why is it that we are different in conclusion from scientists? It is not that we are not scientists. We are also trying to know the truth. They are also trying to know the truth. What is the mistake they are making? They are not using the right process to know the truth. Right process to know the truth, to hear from an authority. The Vedas, right in the beginning, if you see Ishopanishad, right in the beginning, it rejects Pratyaksha Pramana as a way to know anything. Because they say we are too small, just like an ant in this room. They have a photograph taken of Earth when they have one probe reached Saturn. When it took the photograph, small dot. And in that small dot, you are another dot. If you take the whole Earth, you can't. You don't occupy one pixel also. If I put this big screen, I cannot put one pixel also for you. You are so small. Even 4K video I put, still you are not a pixel on Earth. So small we are. But so Vedas say number one thing, you are too small. Give up your pride. Namanta eva. Become humble. You want to know the truth, first become humble. You know your position, you are too small. In front of God who creates unlimited universes, who are you? You are too small. Just like an ant which wants to know what discussion is. Number two, that when we rely on Pratyaksha Pramana, we should know that it is limited. It has limitation. Our senses are limited. We can't see everything. I can't see my eyelids. If the light is not there, I cannot see any one of you. I am limited. I easily get into illusion. Even if I see something for something else. Actually, what I see, I try to fit it to the concepts that I have in my mind. That's why I see rope for a snake, because I already have a concept of snake. I fit for that. Actually, I'm seeing, I'm hearing, and trying to fit to concepts I am having. Actually, my learning is conceptual. That's why we're reading also. Very few people read properly, because most of the people read their own concepts. They're not hearing something else the Acharya is saying. They don't hear. Real reading is not easy, just like real japa is not easy. It's very difficult. Okay? So our senses are limited. We easily get into illusion, and then we make mistakes, and then we cheat. Even though we see something else for something else, even though we are limited in so many ways, we say I know everything. That is cheating. You don't agree? So be limited in this way. They have Sanskrit words for all four of them. What are the words? Okay, Sanskrit words. Based on this foundation, the Vedas right in the beginning reject Pratyaksha Pramana as a way to know the truth. And they say, if you want to know the truth, you have to hear from an authority. Then how to get an authority which can actually tell, see, if suppose I want to know what's happening now in, say, Delhi, okay? Or what is happening to Karnataka government. It is still collapsed or still standing. You want to know, you cannot know on your own capacity. You have to depend upon something which is more. Correct? Some news agency, something you have to depend upon. It is beyond your capacity. So anything which is beyond your capacity of perception, you should not try to speculate. You should hear. Correct? Isn't it reasonable? Just like say some very important event that is happening. Any event that is happening today? News. Who sees news? Any event that is going to happen today. Mataji knows. Some event is going to happen today. Okay. Say any event. So say some event which is going to happen in some part of the world. Some United Nations meeting is going on. Okay? In America. Now, it is beyond your capacity to see. So, you should immediately be humble and say, I have to hear about it from an authority. If I select a good authority, the more I select the better authority, my information will be correct. But because it is beyond my capacity to see, let me not try to speculate. That's nonsense. Oh, perhaps maybe our foreign minister Sushma Swaraj has gone. She must have spoken there. She must have seen proper. What will people say? Well, you're doing wasting your time. Why don't you search for an authority? But get a better authority. Now you got the evening nonsense newspaper. They'll print anything. No, you are not intelligent. So more better the authority, the better it is. So that is the way to know the truth. To hear tadvidhi pranipatena. Search for our authority and surrender. Pariprashnena. Ask all your doubts. Sevaya, and return offer service. Upadakshinti te jnanam. He will give you all knowledge. Jnanina tattva darshina. That's a qualification of the person. Tattvadarshi. He is actually seeing. Prabhupada says a real tattvadarshi is not theorizing. Now see what we are doing. We are theorizing. It's not that I am seeing Ananda Shesha and anybody seeing bhai, hai koi idhar, and Narayana is lying on him, and from his navel Brahma is coming out, and Brahma is sitting on the navel. It's true, when you hear even Bhagavatam with faith, those words, vision is there in those words, because Acharya is seeing and speaking. But we are not even able to hear properly. Correct? So, are we able to see? We are not able to see. But we are hearing from an authority. Therefore, Prabhupada says our information is correct and we are intelligent.